I talk about a few things, but one of the main things is accountability. Accountability, just on everything that the city's doing. I mean, how we're spending the money. Are we spending it efficiently?
Hello and welcome to The Nice Show. That stands for news, information, conversation, and entertainment on ccnc.news. This is a new media portal for Cumberland County, North Carolina, and we are looking for local content creators to add. So if you have a podcast, be sure to contact me and we can get yours added. My name is Charles Bosworth. Some of you know me as Boz or Charlie, but if we don't know each other, don't be afraid to say hi sometime. Thanks for clicking the play button. What you just heard was a clip from an interview with Freddie de Cruz, who is seeking your vote to be the next mayor of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We will spend the next 30 minutes talking with Freddie and learn what his vision is to be the next mayor of Fayetteville. Now, just to be clear and transparent, I have invited all municipal candidates onto this podcast. I only received a reply from 7 of the 20 candidates, and 2 of those 7 have schedules that conflict with my recording schedule, so I don't think we will be hearing from them. But there is still time to reach out and schedule an interview before July 26th. Now, up to this point, we have heard from Peter Pappas for District 6, Kathy Jensen, District 1, Johnny Dawkins, District 5, Dino Hondras, District 9, and next up, today is Freddie de Cruz for mayor. And a reminder, if you are listening to this podcast before July 23rd, and you probably are, early voting is underway. You can cast your vote at the Board of Election office located at 227 Fountainhead Lane here in Fayetteville. On July 26th, you will be able to vote at your normal polling place. And these are municipal elections for City Council and Mayor only. Also, I want to give a special thanks to publisher Bill Bowman from Up and Coming Weekly for allowing me to use his conference room to record these interviews. Be sure you pick up a copy of Up and Coming Weekly. It's available at many locations around Cumberland County. Also, a special thanks to Linda McAllister for her support, taking pictures and getting the word out about these interviews. Now, let's get started. Today we're speaking with Freddie de Cruz, who is running for mayor here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I want to thank Freddie for coming in and joining me today to talk about his campaign and his vision for becoming mayor, because I think this is a very important election. On that note, real quick, with the election, it is July 26th, and it's a special election, and many people are not aware of that, but we can talk about that in a few minutes. Freddie, say hi, introduce yourself, let people know a little bit about who you are and your life here in Fayetteville.
Boz, thank you. I appreciate you inviting me to the Nice Show podcast. I really appreciate that. Any help that I can get, to get my message out and get people out to vote is going to be a good thing for me, of course. As you know, I'm running to be the next mayor of Fayetteville, so I'm out campaigning. As you mentioned also, there's an election going on, and a lot of people don't know that and they don't realize it, but it started today, 7 July, and early voting will end on 23 July, and election day is 26 July. So what I'm trying to do is get everybody out to go out and vote. The reason why I decided to run for office was because, the way I saw the direction of the city going. Now, I've been in the Fayetteville area since 1975. I'm an Army brat, and I went to Spring Lake Junior High, Pine Forest. I'm an alumnus of FTI. It's currently FTCC. And after I got my diploma, I joined the Army in 1986. And after serving 2 years, I entered the Army to Green program and went to Campbell University and graduated as a distinguished military graduate at Campbell University with a business degree, and got a commission and joined the Army. Got back in the Army in 1990, and I served a total of 32 years in the Army. 28 years of that was as a military police officer. I retired as a lieutenant colonel, and I also received I had a top secret SCI clearance when I retired, and I've had over 20 jobs as a military police officer while serving. And when I saw the direction of the city, the way it was going during the riots, that caused me to look at what was going on in Fayetteville, the direction that the city was going, and telling the police to stand down. I didn't think it was the right thing, and I thought I can help Fayetteville, so that's the reason why I decided to run. There's some other reasons why I decided to run, but that was the main reason why I decided to run. Now, I've been married for 39 years. I married a local, Venus Recod. She went to Reed Ross. Together we have 6 children. We have 14 grandchildren, and I'm looking forward to actually serving the citizens of Fayetteville. So I'm asking people to go out and vote. As we go through this interview, the main thing I want people to realize is that to make a change in Fayetteville, you got to go out and vote to make that change. I have the experience. If you go to freddieformayor.com, that's freddieformayor.com, I have a 5-minute video I would like for you to watch. Hopefully that video will demonstrate to you that I am fully qualified to be the next mayor of Fayetteville.
Excellent. It's great to hear your history here in Fayetteville and the experience that you've had, and especially with military experience, that's leadership experience that is so important when getting, I think, really in business and in politics. So it's good to hear someone who has this kind of experience coming to the table to come to Fayetteville and lead the city. So over the past several years, it's kind of led up to you deciding that you want to run. As you've seen things happen, as you've seen things unfold in the city of Fayetteville. What are 2 or 3 items that come to mind, that have happened that you go, I would have done that a little bit differently, that would have put us in a little bit of a better place?
Boz, when you talk about experience, and that's been a question with a lot of people, about experience. I've got more experience as a candidate than any candidate that's on the city council sitting today. When they decided they wanted to serve as a board member, a city council member for the city, I commanded the largest MP battalion in Iraq. I had over 1,700 soldiers under my command. At one given point, I would have over close to 3,000 because of the replacement of the units while in Iraq. My mission in Iraq was to stand up police stations. That's what I did. I had 55,000 square miles of area to cover, 4 provinces in northern Iraq. They included Mosul, Tikrit, Diyala, Sinjar. So I have a lot of experience with military police and how to do police operations. And I see the number one problem that we have in Fayetteville. We lack leadership in the police department. And I understand the morale is very low, which is not very helpful. And I think that's the reason why we're unable to hire the police that we need in Fayetteville. I mean, the crime in Fayetteville is very high. As everyone knows it, the murder rate is ridiculous. And you hear, there's really nothing you can do about murder because you can't stop someone from killing someone. That's the narrative I've been hearing, but that's not true. My father, who was killed in Spring Lake in 2011, when the county and the state stripped the policing authority from the town of Spring Lake, at which time the county and the city was supposed to cover down. My father was murdered in his home. He was 83 years old. And I attribute that due to the lack of patrols in Spring Lake. Now, I'm not advocating a police state, but what I am advocating is that if we're going to create jobs in Fayetteville, we need to start with making sure that we fill all our police vacancies so they can patrol the streets and have a command presence, and so that we are vigilant. Because if someone's thinking about committing a criminal act, you could actually deter them from committing an act just by mere presence. So I think my experience as a military police officer and a soldier, I would bring a lot to help fight the crime in Fayetteville.
So crime is one of the areas that you see over the past few years leading you up to decide to run for mayor as one of the catalyst issues that you would do differently as far as what's happened in the last few years. So what is a second big issue for you that you really feel needs to be addressed?
I talk about a few things, but one of the main things is accountability. Accountability, just on everything that the city's doing. I mean, how we're spending the money. Are we spending it efficiently? The city council has voted on numerous items on various departments, and I would like to see that the city is actually doing the people's business, the items that were voted on. And so I would look at the accountability piece and ensuring that our funds are being spent efficiently. So that's another area that I would look into. Another reason why I decided to run for mayor, when I saw the riots, I'll bring this up as well, is how the city handled, the market house. They painted, Black Lives Do Matter around the market house. Mm-hmm. Okay, and as though the citizens in Fayetteville don't understand that Black lives, quote unquote, do matter. I mean, if you live in Fayetteville, everybody understands that Black lives do matter. And
absolutely,
they erased it, and then they put it back, and that right there drove a wedge for a lot of people. It was really an insult, to the citizens of Fayetteville that you had to repaint Black Lives Do Matter. And I think that's the biggest thing people talk about when I talk about, we talk about creating jobs. That's a good thing. We talk about economic development, and I think that's a good. We talk about, recreation, and that's all good. But, people, they also love their city, and there's a lot of memories, that come, from the market house. Now, some of it, is bad, and some good, but I think that, we need to learn from our mistakes and unite as a city and stop the division. And so that was, another reason why I ran. And during the mask mandate, that was another thing. There was a mask mandate hypocrisy, is what I call it. Mm-hmm. You had, the county had a mask mandate abatement order, which included the city. There was no reason why, the mayor had to establish a mask mandate when the county already had one. But when the city decided that they didn't feel like the mask mandate was not required, and the county still had their mask mandate, you had the members of the city council in violation of the county mask mandate and the state mask mandate, which really, to me, was very hypocritical. And that those are the three things: the riots, the handling of the market house, and the mask mandate hypocrisy. And that's the three reasons why I decided to run for mayor. And now that I'm in the runnings, I want to help with solving the problems that we have in Fayetteville with regard to crime.
So you've been out campaigning a lot, talking to a lot of people. What's the feedback that they're giving you as being someone running for mayor compared to the current mayor that we have, and what's the comparison? What are people saying to you?
A lot of people are very happy, because you got to understand, and for everyone that's listening to this, people haven't had a chance to vote for a mayor in 5 years. The incumbent mayor was unopposed the last election, and then he was extended. So now I think the fact that I'm running, I have the experience, I'm very optimistic that there's going to be a higher turnout rate. A lot of people are saying that there's going to be a low turnout rate because it's a off-season election. It's going to be hot. People are vacationing. But I really honestly believe that people are very excited that they have an opportunity to be able to vote for someone other than the incumbent. And so I've been out talking to people, knocking on doors. I've been passing out signs. Just yesterday, I had a motorcade. I took my RV out and the limousines, and we drove all around the city, letting people know, there is an election going on, and we do have a viable candidate, that can replace the incumbent if they go out and vote. And that's the main message for me right now, is to get people to get out and vote. We called up over 2,200 people yesterday and asking them to vote, and the response is very positive, and that's from all the communities in Fayetteville. It's not from a certain
district or
ethnicity. It's not. It's strictly change is what they're looking for, and they're not happy with the direction with the city.
So you're going to, if you were to be elected, which we are, I'm anticipating that you get elected, you're going to have a town council that you're going to need to work with to to talk about the issues. How do you foresee yourself working with the town council? And we don't know who those people are going to be just yet, but just hypothetically speaking, like, you're sitting as the mayor of Fayetteville right now. What are you telling them?
Well, right now I'm trying to build relationships. Some of them they're fighting it a little bit because there's an election going. They don't probably want to sow an association with me because they may, ruffle some feathers of other candidates. But just recently, before I came to do this interview with you, Boz, I was there talking to all the city council people that are out there at the polls, chatting with them, talking with them. No hard feelings. They understand. We have different ideas, and I want them to get to know who Freddie is and why I think the way I do, and I think it's very positive. I'm getting a lot of very positive feedback. So as I build these relationships with the future leaders or councilmen and councilwomen for Fayetteville, I plan on sitting with them and finding out what their top 3 priorities are for their districts, and by doing so, I'm hoping that I'll be able to figure out which ones are common priorities among all 9 districts, and see if we can't fix the areas that we all have that we want to fix. So, for example, if we want to fix, everybody I'm sure wants to fix the problem with crime. So I think that would be like a top priority. So what are we going to do about fixing it? And so I think, my thing was say, okay, let's increase the police patrols. Let's offer more training on don't shoot scenarios. Working with community watch organizations, helping them do threat mitigation plans and help them with developing, action plans to mitigate the threats, be more engaged with the community with regard to policing and law enforcement. So I think that's something we could work on. And I'm sure there's other areas. I want to work on the transportation system. The FAST system is one of my priorities. I want to help those who are trying to get to work, using the FAST transportation system. I think that if we can help expedite them to get to and from work, that we're going to be a more productive city. So that's one of my priorities is getting FAST to be a more efficient transportation network for the people, where it's more comfortable for them traveling when they're waiting at the bus stops, and seeing how we can make it more easy for them to get from their house to the bus stop and from the bus stop to work, and then do the reverse travel. So that would be one of the items that I would like to work on. And so really what I'm saying is I want to help the citizens that are getting on the bus every day, because those are the citizens that really are trying to make a difference in Fayetteville and a difference in their life.
Do you have any type of plan as far as helping homeless people that are in our community?
Well, homelessness. Okay, I'm always helping the homelessness. I contribute to them every opportunity I can, within my means. Homelessness will always be with us, Boz. We all know that. I think that we need to focus on helping the homelessness that are mentally challenged, the ones that are on drug addiction, and the ones that are on alcohol. Try to help them so that we can get them back on their feet. I think we need to help them find work. I'm finding out that a lot of them can't find a job because of their criminal background, their drug addiction, and nobody really wants to hire them. So we have to develop programs. Maybe we just have to look at maybe programs that we can help them find work. And that's something I'm sure there's folks out there already doing it. We just have to tap into those organizations that are already doing it. And that's what I would do. I would look at the organizations that are already trying to help the homelessness and work with them and their ideas to make them more efficient and to see how we can make it better for mine. I'm finding out that if we can at least provide the homeless an area where they can go take a shower, do laundry, that's half the battle for us, these homeless people, and getting them some work where they can at least get enough money to where they can feed themselves and then finding them a place. So, there was one point in my life I was homeless. It was about 3 or 4 days, but I got on a bus, got a job, I got a place, and just kept on moving from there. And here I am now running for mayor.
It's a good story. When I moved here in 2016, I was driving down McPherson Church Road, and there was this lady. I want to say she was in her early 20s, and she had this look. I think she might have been coming from one of the restaurants, working at one of the restaurants or something, some kind of restaurant uniform. But she had this big cup of soda, and so she was drinking from it. I was just driving from up the road, and she was up in front of me. And as I'm passing by her, she looks, she takes her cup and she just throws it down and splatters soda all over and just keeps walking. And this is one of my first impressions of Fayetteville because I hadn't lived here very long. Another impression was that we were sitting out on our front porch, and our house is on the corner, and this car pulled up, and a lady opens up her door and throws trash on our yard, and then they see me sitting on the porch, so picks it up and says, "Oh, sorry," which we know that she wasn't really sorry. So I'm saying these things to ask you, what are some things that leadership in Fayetteville can do to make people feel proud of where they live so they're not doing those types of things?
Okay, so, I talk about housing. Okay, we talk about getting them to and from work through the bus transportation system. A lot of people need a place to live. That problem is facing us. Mm-hmm. And really, my idea with that is that we spent $3 million on garbage cans, okay? Mm-hmm. And if I had that $3 million, what I would do with that money, instead of buying the garbage cans, what I would have probably tried to get the council to do was take that $3 million, because we really didn't have to spend on the garbage cans, is work with landlords that have vacant homes that don't have the money to fix those homes because they just don't have the credit or the capital to do it. So I would look at maybe potentially doing low interest loans to these landlords so they can repair these homes so that somebody can move in them. Now, it's a win-win situation for the city, the landlord, and the tenant that's moving in, because with the program you could actually cap the rent because they're going to participate in the program. The city can charge 3% interest on the loan, and also put a lien on the property, so they don't lose their investment of, say, $30,000 to fix one of these homes that are vacant. A win-win situation for everyone. And with $3 million, you could fix 120 houses at $30,000 a house. And if you charge 3%, you're going to make $90,000 a year. Plus, since you're fixing the home, the property value goes up, which means the city's going to collect more tax revenues from those homes that are being repaired. So it's really a win-win situation, and you just duplicate that. And so by doing so, you're going to bring pride into the community. People are going to see that these homes are not abandoned. They look nice, and hopefully, as we continually repair these homes, that people will take pride in their neighborhoods, with the assistance, with the city sanitation department. So that's one way, one idea I have with fixing the homelessness problem, the housing issue, And back to what you're talking about, people that don't take pride in the community. I will say this: I've been in the Fayetteville area since 1975, and I will tell you, the Murchison Road and the Bragg Boulevard corridor has significantly improved from when I was growing up. Okay, and I'm impressed with how some of that is going along. Especially with them planting the trees and doing area beautification. There are a few businesses out there that need a little door knocking so we can tell them they need to police up. But for the most part, I think Fayetteville it doesn't look as bad as it used to, and so I give credit to the city council, for that. But yeah, I think if we can help these landlords repair these homes, it's going to be a win-win situation for everybody involved. So that's one thing I would do.
That's a great plan, I think, to present, and I agree with you that the money was unnecessarily spent on the garbage cans. That's one of those things that make you go, because why? It wasn't that important. As far as anything on the cans, take paint, and that would have fixed that problem real fast.
Well, I'm a business owner, and so I own four businesses actually under one roof. I got a bridal store. I sell dresses, wedding dresses, prom dresses. I also have a tuxedo store within my business where I rent tuxedos. And I also have a venue that I rent, that I manage. And I have a limousine service that I have. So, and I'm very efficient with all of them. I managed to keep all those businesses afloat during COVID. Now, I did get some assistance from the PPP, so I can take care of my employees. But what I'm saying is that we need to look at how we are spending the money in Fayetteville. Are we spending it efficiently? Are we tackling the issues that need to be tackled? Are we just doing nice to have things just so we can say, look what we've done? We need to focus on the priorities. The priorities are, increasing the patrols in Fayetteville, getting the police out there to do their job, helping people find places to live. The example I gave is one way we can do it. Helping people to get to and from work efficiently. Okay, that's another thing that we need to do. We need to focus on spending our dollars efficiently so that people can, be safe and be happy. The water problem that we have, the flooding, the roads flooding, houses flooding in Fayetteville, that's a problem we need to be tackling. So things that impact people's lives are what we need to be focused on to make them more comfortable. And then once we do that, I think, we can move on to bigger and better things. And I mean, of course, I'm not saying we can't do the recreational items and we can't do the museums and, work on the airport and improve our utilities. All that's important. But we really need to focus on what impacts the people the most on a daily basis. That's why people need to elect Freddie for mayor, because Freddie will focus on what impacts people's daily lives. People getting on the bus every day, trying to get to work and make a difference, is who Freddie is going to focus on helping.
And not only that, but, just in talking with you, presented with, here's an issue. You're not just, okay, I hear your issue. Let's talk about the issue. Let's talk about the issue some more. But you're actually someone who's got ideas or will solicit ideas to find the solution and make the solution happen, not just sit and talk about the solutions and wish they would go away.
Okay, well, yes, I am a problem solver. Okay, as I mentioned, I've done 32 years in the Army, 28 years as a military police officer, 20 years as a planner. And in the military, we go through a military decision-making process. We go through decision briefs, and most of the veterans out there listening understand exactly what I'm talking about. We, troop leading procedures. These are processes that we go through to solve problems. That's what we do. You give us the problem, and we develop a plan to solve that problem, through, collection of doing analysis, the collection of facts and assumptions, and we go through an entire process to solve problems. And that's what I do. That's what I've been doing most of my career. I'm a problem solver. And so, yes, any problem that's presented in front of me, Freddie is a problem solver. And anybody that knows Freddie knows this. Everybody that knows me knows that I am a problem solver. I actually thrive with solving problems. And so yeah, I look forward, to getting on the city council and being the mayor, and to work with the city council to find out the problems that we have and work with the experts to see how we can solve these problems, but with an emphasis on helping the folks who are really trying to make a difference in Fayetteville, and those who are trying to get to and from work so they can take care of their family and improve their livelihood and move into the next level in their life as they pursue, their liberties and prosperity for themselves and their family.
Freddie, I thank you for spending time with us here on The Nice Show this afternoon. And you're charismatic and you're very approachable. I want people to know that you are approachable. Come talk to you about anything. How can people get in touch with you? They have ideas or they have problems, and they say, "Hey, Freddie, what do you think you could do about this if I vote for you?"
Well, I have a phone number dedicated to my campaign. You can go to freddieformayor.com. You can find information about me by going there. You can go to my store at 2739 Bragg Boulevard. And you can contact me at 910-568-9699. Prefer text. If you have to talk to me, I'll pick up the phone, but I prefer you text that number as it gets over inundated with text messages. But if you really have to talk to me about something, I always answer my phone. I'm a 24/7 guy, believe it or not. That's just the way I do things. I get up, when I have to get something done, I'll get up and get it done. If I don't, I'll relax and wait until I got to get something done. But I'm just going to ask one thing from all the listeners. Please go out and vote. Mm-hmm. Research your candidates. I'm fully qualified to be the next mayor of Fayetteville. I'm asking for your vote. The election's going on right now, and the only thing I can do is just ask you for your vote. And if you want to make change and make a difference in Fayetteville, vote for Freddie.
And FreddieForMayor.com. It's Freddie FORMayor.com.
Yeah, FreddieForMayor.com. Awesome. And you can spell it with an I-E or a Y, and you'll still reach me.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Freddie. Appreciate you spending time with us this afternoon. Make sure you do go out and vote, and hopefully you've enjoyed what Freddie has to say, and that you can put your confidence in him that he will make the changes that are so needed here in Fayetteville. And thank you again to publisher Bill Bowman for allowing me to use the up-and-coming conference room, and Linda McAllister for all of her support. Last but not least, thank you for clicking that play button and listening to the end. This podcast will be available on all major platforms soon, so be sure to visit the website ccnc.news so you can subscribe where you like to listen to podcasts. More interviews from the movers and shakers in Cumberland County are on the way, so don't miss them. Subscribe to the newsletter at ccnc.news, and you can learn about the logo contest that I will be having. We need a new logo, and I would like to reach out to some graphic designers in the community and offer up a prize for the best logo submitted. Now, until next time, remember to exercise your right to practice the golden rule and treat others the way you want to be treated in every instance of every interaction that you have with others. Plant seeds of success in your mind's garden and watch your world change.